Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you like this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing what might be the most appealing new Oris of 2018, the limited edition Oris Aquis Source of Life, a 2018 series of 2,343 pieces. The headlining number being the altitude of the Thomasee, or Laidatuma, the source of life, the water that runs over 1,233 kilometers from Switzerland's Alps to the North Sea. And this watch is both ecologically themed and a visual reference to the source material. So let's talk about how it fits and then talk about some of the details that make it special. 43.5 millimeters across the round of the case. The watch is fairly slim at 13 millimeters thick. It will slide underneath the cuff and possibly even a dress sleeve, not just the jacket. Lug to lug, it's a very manageable 50 millimeters, and I find on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it wears quite easily. I would rate this watch as viable for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. And the timepiece does have a wonderful curvature about the edge of its lugs. They're short, they're tucked, they're cropped, and they're so downturned that they wrap around the edge of your wrist rather than flaring out. You can see that the strap and the lug junction, both proprietary, so you're going to wind up using an Oris strap or an Oris bracelet. Screw-fixed bars, not spring bars. Every luxury watch should be built this way for security. It's a fully integrated look, so there's almost no gap between strap and case flank, and it continues the lines of the lugs into the strap profile. And on the underside, you can see material has been removed to create an air pocket to vent the wrist, as well as to remove material and make it more supple. It is natural vulcanized rubber with character line definitions on the top, Oris logo in relief, and it has a natural rubber composition that is vanilla scented, so it is a unique sensory experience, the feel and the smell in person. The clasp is nicely made and it exceeds expectations. It features a little bit of a bell anchor on its pin to prevent it from getting pulled out. Nice attention to detail internally, both satin finish and engine turning, and it features a minderless system, so you tuck any excess length underneath the body of the clasp. As a result, no flapping in the breeze of excess length and no minder loops to mar the lines of the watch. A handsome clasp, more than you expect. Once again, both satin and polish. You can see inside there is a push-button slider that allows you to make incremental adjustments, and you can go all out if you want to put it over a dive suit, or you can move it in and out as your activity dictates. Your wrist may expand or contract. It also allows you to cut the strap and makes it easier with some scoring demarcations, but you're probably going to be able to adjust it to suit without cutting it. Jumping further into the design of the watch, the case comes to light, and I love the design of the case because if you compare this to a Rolex, Rolex has a sheer featureless flank with the exception of the crown guards. The crown guards here are like the cherry on the ice cream sundae. They're fixed blocks held on by unique screws, so if they get marred, Oris can remove them and replace them. They are modular for replacement if damaged. The crown is oversized, deeply knurled, and easy to grip. The case band features a combination of satin finished flank, and you'll see it's actually reverse conical, so it's wider at its base than it is at the top. That's interesting to see. Also interesting, the step out of the lugs to give them their own sculptural form and break up the mass of the case, the metal. You will note small polished accents running on the underside of the bezel, and the knurling of the bezel, all of high polish. Let's get close now and afford ourselves a bit more light. Get everything in focus and talk about this watch because it is a special piece. The bezel is nicely detented. It's not as crisp as you'll find in a Panerai Luminor submersible, for example, but it is far better than most in this price point. And by the way, the price point for this watch is $2,200 new. The insert is lacquer-filled and comprised of tungsten. The blue-gray metal satin finished here, extraordinarily scratch-resistant. You can line up that luminescent pearl while enjoying the solidly above-average bezel detent with the oversized minute hand, and now you have an impromptu 0 to 60 minute timer. The dial, how to describe the dial? It is like slate blue that's been touched by a goddess's finger. The goddess's fingertip imbuing this one with a sensational blue-gray sunburst that has overtones of cobalt and undertones of sea green. It's wonderfully evocative of its inspirational source material, the Thomas Sea and the North Sea, and of course the Rhine River that links them. You will note an unusual application of a date on this dial. The sunburst and the applique indices are finely rendered, and they're above average for the price, but it's the date that really sets this apart, not just from other watches in its price class, but also any other Oris Aquis. It is a radial date that migrates around the dial, and there's a quick set, as you can see. There's also a hacking or stop seconds function. By the way, a small detail that every dive watch should include: a luminescent seconds hand. Not every dive watch features a fully luminescent seconds hand. I believe a diver should be fully functional day or night. Oris gets it right. Now the case back. Typically you would get a Sellita SW200 and a display case back. In this instance, I actually approve of the use of a custom case back. You can see the journey from lug-to-lug to the North Sea and the arc that it takes with the source of life, individualized number plaque. And of course, IWC could take a lesson from this, give people individually engraved case backs. It's that small extra attention to detail, going the slight, not just the extra mile, let's say the extra inch, to make your watch unique. I appreciate that, and I think this case back is more fun to look at than a Sellita caliber. But the Sellita caliber inside the 300-meter water-resistant case is the SW200-1, 38-hour power reserve, bidirectional winding, 28,800 vibrations per hour, hacking seconds, quick set date, 26 joules, tank tough. It is a Sellita version of an ETA 2824, which is to say, you can regulate it to keep chronometer time, and it'll survive the apocalypse. You can see this beautifully rendered exception to almost all the rules of price point, specification, look, and aura on our website, thewatchbox.com. See the $2,200 watch that looks and feels like $1,000,000. And we're back with the Oris Aquis Source of Life Limited Edition, Otherworldly Blues by Day and Night. See it on the Watchbox.